Hello, fiber friends. Today is Monday, December 8th, and this is episode 7 of Vlogmas 2025. And yes, I am a day behind, and you'll have to watch some of those earlier videos to find out why. But today, the purpose of my video is to bust through some excess yarn that I have and hopefully motivate you to do the same. I am wanting to make a basket with some vintage and scrap yarn that I have. Now, I already started this morning with 13 rounds using 3 strands of the same yarn. Now, I thought maybe for the bottom of the basket, I would want a more consistent look and then give it somewhat of an ombre effect moving up. This is entirely freehand, but I can share the link to a blog post that motivated me doing this project. I have made these before, but I'm just like freehanding, being loose and free today. This yarn that I'm using, I bought up someone's stash a long time ago, maybe about 6 months ago. I bought 2 totes of yarn for $50. Didn't realize how old it was, but you know what? It still works. This is, I know my camera is turned around, Jack Frost Tropical Knitting Worsted Weight Yarn. Is there a brand? Was Jack Frost a brand? I'm not familiar, but what's killing me, and maybe I'll flip my camera for this, is that, it does have a barcode, so it's not like older than old, but this was $1.28 at Zayre. Now, I remember Zayre department store from when I was a kid, and please tell me if I'm wrong. Did Target buy them out? I remember Zayre, and I remember being in like upper elementary school and maybe middle school, and my mom taking me there clothes shopping, and it was kind of like a department store. I am quite certain that Zayre was a predecessor to Target, so this is pretty old. And I will tell you, it's kind of a pain in the butt to work with. As you can see, it's nice. It's got these flecks. And I had been using this yarn to make soil for planted pots, or like plants in a pot that are crocheted, and I thought this was kind of cool for soil. Those didn't really take off, and I don't love making them. And I made 3, 1 sold, 1 got damaged, and 1 I just kind of like stopped bringing to markets. One thing I don't like about it is if I don't use cardboard in the bottom, you can't really like stuff it very well because you want to keep the bottom flat. And I just don't know, didn't love it. I think plushies sell better. They have eyes that look back at you. But anyway, at this point, 3 strands of the same yarn. I, for some reason, had 3 already going from different projects, or maybe I bought them already, like partially used. I still have 4 unopened, and I'm going to see how far this takes me. I'm going to still make this a little bit wider for reference. It's not as, the diameter is shorter than my fake Stanley Cup. So I'm going to do 2 more rounds. This is 13 rounds. I think I'm going to take it up to 15 and then reassess and decide if I'm ready to move up the walls and stop increasing the diameter. So I'll be back in a little bit. Oh, I forgot to tell you. I think I got a job. I mean, like not 100% yet, but I did have an interview this morning at a small high school, not as small as the school where I was working, but an actually like well-established school. So if I did get hired, I don't see the risk of the school leaders then saying like enrollment doesn't support you, which was what happened just recently. So I went in, and there was a position that I had applied for, but then she's like, well, there's this other position too in the high school, and it sounded really fun, actually. Like I would be doing a variety of different things throughout the day. I would be teaching history, I'd be teaching debate, and I would be doing some like credit recovery for seniors who are not currently passing English but need it to graduate. And I'm pretty good at working with students who just kind of like need that confidence boost. So I'm excited. I have 2 more interviews on Wednesday, and I still had a really successful interview last week. I think that is the one that I still want, even though it's a difference between maybe like a 5-mile and a 45-mile commute. I'm spitballing, but this school is pretty close. The college was a drive, but I still feeling kind of pulled to that kind of work. And then we'll see what happens on Wednesday, but I'm excited. I'm feeling good. You know, like I left the interview with the principal saying, this is all now just contingent on verifying your license and your background check and your drug test. And I said, well, I assure you I'm going to pass all of those. So I will keep you posted. I'm back. I now have 15 rows across and it measured about 10 inches diameter. I am happy with this. So the next step is to do a round without any increases in the back loop only, which is going to help transition from this laying flat to then the walls moving up. And I am, like I said, I'm doing 3 strands together. It's kind of a hassle to keep equal tension on 3 hands, especially because I can only describe this yarn as a little bit wiggly and bumpy with these flecks in it. So at this point, I have 2 unopened skeins, and then as I run out of brown strands, I will then switch from 2 brown, 1 green, and then when I run out of that second one, it'll be 1 brown, 2 green, and then eventually moving to all green. So stick around and we'll see what happens. I hope you're doing the same thing. How many skeins of yarn do you think you're going to use up making this project? Put that down in the comments. I would love to know. Well, I'm back and it's getting late. This evening, between having to drive my daughter to her job and having some classes to teach, I made some good progress, but I did not finish. So here's where I currently am. You can see that I have transitioned over to 1 shade of green. I am very much liking this so far. I'm not ready to put the handles on it because if I want to carry it by the handles, I feel like that is still too short. And I did Google, like, what is the optimal height for a basket that is 8 inches diameter or 10 inches diameter, and the answer was 8 to 10 inches tall, and I think I do need to go on that higher end, like I said, so that you can carry it by the handles. I think this would be a great project bag. It would be great for dog toys, as long as the dog doesn't chew the bag. And I also think it might be a little like a coffee table organizer for your couch, for your remotes and maybe your book and whatever stuff you want to have near you when you're relaxing in the evening. Let me know in the comments what you think some other uses for this would be, because being able to explain that to people at markets would be a great way to talk them into spending their money. I will see you tomorrow and hopefully you will see the finished project. See you then.